From the Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Plains, Colorado is known for its diverse climate and beautiful scenery. This incredible state is home to Mother Nature's most incredible creations, such as Pikes Peak, Garden of the Gods, the Hot Springs, the Maroon Bells, Cave of the Winds, the Sand Dunes, and dozens of other natural wonders that make the state so beautiful. In addition to Colorado's natural beauty, Coloradans are also known for their love of adventure, exercise, hiking, and the great outdoors. Even though Coloradans love the state for its blue skies, tall mountains, and fresh air, how much do the citizens know about their blue skies and the air that they are breathing in? How fresh is Colorado's air?
Coal has been mined in Colorado since 1859. It started when a pair of men began mining between the gold rush settlements of Denver and Boulder. People began to mine coal as they became discontent with gold mining. The coal industry has continued to thrive to this day, and Colorado now has 12 active coal plants. These coal-fired power plants are among the primary sources of industrial greenhouse gas emissions.
The mines are dangerous. They have this new thing where they remove the top of a mountain and then dig it down from the top, and it's cheaper to cut the top of a mountain off than it is to actually burrow in from underneath. And I think there's something like 600 mountains that have had their tops removed from coal. Once it's completed, then there's any sort of possible factors that could further degrade groundwater, for example, and the runoff from the mining and that sort of thing. So lots of negative impacts.
In 2015, 60% of the energy in Colorado was generated by coal, and 340 trillion British thermal units of coal were consumed in Colorado.
We need electricity. Where we get that from, I think, is the question. And, we still rely on coal a fair amount to generate electricity. That's its primary use.
Colorado's coal is considered cleaner because of its higher heat content and its relatively low levels of sulfur, ash, and mercury. Nevertheless, the burning of coal still releases carbon into the atmosphere. The carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, which traps heat that is radiated from the Earth, warming the planet, intensifying the greenhouse effect, and accelerating global warming.
It is a dirty fuel. We've long relied on it. And the phrase clean coal has actually been around for a very long time, just in a different context. But sadly, there's no such thing as clean coal. It's dirty fuel. The big thing with coal, and really it's not just Colorado, it's the nation, with the rise of fracking and the really inexpensive prices of natural gas, the use of coal has been steadily going down for a number of years. I think since 2010, the emissions from coal have dropped because of this increased reliance on natural gas. So in Colorado, that has certainly factored in. So it's not so much a coal policy per se as just the availability of natural gas that fracking has created.
In 2015, former President Barack Obama unveiled the Clean Power Plan, a policy aimed at slowing the effects of global warming by requiring states to meet specific standards in regards to carbon dioxide emissions. Many Americans rejoiced at the new environmental policy, and still other Americans became angry because they felt it was an attack on the fossil fuel and mining industries. In March of 2017, Donald Trump revoked these protection measures in an effort to revive fossil fuel and coal mining jobs. According to the Colorado Mining Association, many residents living in Colorado mining towns are happy about the repealing of the policy.
Pruitt just announced that the war on coal is over, for example, so coal ostensibly will be making a comeback with the current administration. The EPA chief just announced that he wants to scale back the regulations on Bureau of Land Management land, which is federal land where a lot of extraction takes place. So it's hard to, given that, it's hard to imagine that it's hard not to imagine that fracking won't even become more popular under the Trump administration.
In 2004, Colorado became the first state with a voter-approved renewable portfolio standard. This legislature has increased requirements, and the standard now requires 30% of electricity sold by large utilities to come from renewable energy resources by 2020.
Colorado legislation specifically states, "It is declared to be the policy of this state that the extraction of construction materials and the reclamation of land affected by such extraction are both necessary and proper activities." But while coal is perceived as a necessity, Colorado can reduce its use and shift towards wind turbines, hydroelectric dams, and solar energy in order to significantly reduce the burning of coal. As more interest groups demand change, large companies such as Xcel Energy are remaking themselves by working to shift towards wind and solar energy in order to adapt to the changing demand for environmentally friendly energy. Last year, 2 Colorado power plants shut down with the promise of reducing carbon dioxide emissions and getting rid of a significant amount of pollutants.
Really, the alternatives are becoming cheaper and more readily available with wind and solar, and they're not ready to replace coal. But I think that's also another reason that coal has been becoming relied on less and less. Until I think the bigger policies are addressed, Trump, has announced he's pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, for example, and he's clinging to something there that the rest of the world has decided that for a long time they wanted to be a part of, and it actually for a long time the reason that the U.S. resisted those types of agreements was because they were worried that countries like China would continue to, use more coal and pollute more. But what happened with the Trump administration is it gave China a chance to sort of assert their leadership as a cleaner country, and so we're kind of reversing what was some, policy progress.
While Trump's presidency and new coal policies may give the impression of less coal regulations, companies like Xcel continue to adopt new practices, influenced by the masses of people demanding cleaner energy. In this industry, corporations either change or lose significant demand. The future remains bright for a cleaner, eco-friendly Colorado. And remember, your voice makes an impact.